That's why. Have you ever been in a new relationship and it just felt so good, and then it got old? Have you ever been on your way to a new work environment and you felt so exhilarated and excited in the beginning, and then it stopped giving you that feeling? Well, that's because as we watch you, and we watch all of you, as we see humans in their fantastic exploration and expansion, we notice that the majority of the creation that you do as you create your empires and your relationships and the structures of your life, whether it is personal relationships or global relationships, whether it is monetary empires, whether it is subjects of understanding the philosophy of the world, as you are building these magnificent physical structures and creations, the majority of your work happens before you gather the first board or the first brick or the first computer or the first computer programmer. In other words, the majority of your creation happens before you begin to take any physical action, because there is a vibrational structure, a vibrational grid, a vibrational creation that takes place. So we see our greatest value to you here today, and the greatest work that we do as we are playing with you, is to convince you of the reality of this vibrational beingness that has amassed and that is real, but that may be vibrating at a frequency where you can't yet see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, and that's why you don't believe it. It is so much easier to believe what's manifested than to believe what's pre-manifested. And this pre-manifestation, it is the precursor to all of this magnificent expansion. If we can convince you that you were source energy before you came into this body, and that the larger part of you still is source energy even though you're in this body. If we can convince you that as you explore the details of your life that you cause a vibrational expansion, and that the larger part of you immediately takes that expansion, is that expansion, has become that expansion, and is calling you to it. And if we can convince you that the way you feel is your evidence, in the moment evidence, of whether you're going with the expansion or whether you're holding back a little bit. To the degree that you feel bad, you're holding back. To the degree that you feel good, you're going with it. And if we can convince you that if you will just chill out a little, if you will stop looking at reality and letting whatever it is control your every thought, if you will allow yourself the hopeful conclusion that maybe there is a vortex, and maybe my source is within it, and maybe if I just release thoughts, that source will call me into vibrational alignment, then it is our promise to you that your vortex will train your vibration upward. Because in the absence of resistant thought, you practice a non-resistant, totally allowing thought. And the more often you do that, the more easy it is to do it, until in time, and we're talking about a very short time, you will become a vibrational match to the frequency of your source. And when that happens, when you spend more time in this vortex, do you believe there's a vortex? Can you sort of kind of hear it? You get what we're talking about? You have to accept it. You're good, but you haven't figured out how to scrape enough dirt together to launch it into orbit. You gotta know there's something else going on. And as you acknowledge that there is this vortex of creation, and as you acknowledge that it is a vibrational frequency, and as you accept the reality of it and feel your way into it again and again and again, and once you're in it, you milk it. You stay there as long as you can until it's more natural for you to be in that frequency than to be in a resistant frequency that doesn't feel so good. What will begin to happen to you is you will begin to see and hear and smell and taste and touch inside the vortex. In other words, we're not saying to you that everything that manifests is outside the vortex. We're saying to you that you got to be in the vortex for the things you want to manifest. You got to be in the vortex for the things that you want to consistently and profoundly and chronically begin to manifest. You've got to believe you've got to understand your frequency. And the only way that you can understand your frequency is through your emotions. Do you get that? So, we have for many years been calling this gathering the art of allowing. And we mean the art of allowing yourself right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, now. It's going to take a while, now, right now, to be in the receptive mode of all that you've become. So we want to explain to you what the actual physics of vibration becoming reality is. How do thoughts turn to things? How do vibrations turn to thoughts, and how do thoughts turn to things? How does this time-space reality evolve as it does? If it is a vibrational reality, Abraham, then how is it that I can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it? Because your eyes translate. Your eyes are vibrational translators. So is your nose and your fingertips and your tongue and your ears. You are translating the vibration. So here's this vibration, and let's say that it is your inner being, source, God, call it whatever you want. It's the non-physical version of you. It's a non-physical point of view of you. It's a non-physical knowledge of who you are. It's a non-physical knowledge of the expanded version of you. It's a vibrational consciousness that knows. It is knowing. It is all-knowing. It is a vibrational consciousness of knowing. And it's vibrating here. Now, are you seeing it? No. Are you hearing it? No. Are you smelling it? No. Tasting it? No. Touching it? No. It's a vibrational version that you could do all of those things with. You're just not yet. You're just not yet. When Source puts consciousness in the rose, you can smell it. In other words, all of that consciousness is being experienced by you in so many different ways. But this is a new thought. This is a new thought about you. This is a new thought about you that you just launched because of something that you lived, and you're not ready to receive it vibrationally, but it's there. It's there. So now we have a really important question for you. If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, did it make a sound? And the answer to that question is no, because sound is the word that is applied when something that is physical translates a vibration into something meaningful. And if there were no ears there to do the translation, then there could not have been sound. There could have been vibration, but no sound. The sound happened in the receiving mode. Are you getting what we're saying to you? So here's this consciousness. Here's consciousness knowing about you, all knowing about you, offering a vibration. And it fell over in the forest. Did you hear it? No. So when you are in the receiving mode, let's say that you woke up happy today and you didn't do anything to change that. You didn't remember yesterday yet. So there you are, offering a vibration, feeling good. Maybe you meditated, you're feeling good. So there's nothing happening in your vibration that is resisting this vibration of source consciousness. So now you are in the receiving mode, and you think a thought. You say, oh man, I just got the best idea. And with that idea comes an emotion of elation, an emotion of clarity. That's the first step in vibration turning to thoughts, to things. In other words, this is the beginning of the translation of vibration into something. This is the gap that we're wanting you to consciously begin to close. Now, if you're in a bad mood, if someone mistreated you and you're thinking about it, if you woke up thinking about it, if you've already written an email about it, if you've been on the phone talking to your best friend about it, if you wrote it in your diary, in other words, if you've been thinking about it, if you've been thinking about that injustice that happened yesterday, and now you're off on a tangent, yeah, that's not the first person that's done that to me, won't be the last. And so you're down the road on all that vibration, then you're nowhere near the vibrational signal of this pure positive energy of the source within you. So you're not getting any of that reception. The reception that you're getting is of a different nature. It's the spin-off of man's conscious thought. You see what we're getting at? So as we're moving forward here today, we want to show you how you can live happily ever after. We want you to make peace with contrast. We want you to understand that contrast matters, that contrast and variety are necessary for you to focus your desires into being. We just think it would be such a wonderful idea for you and such a good experience for you if once you've launched those rockets of desire and you have, your vortex is so full it would take you 20 or 30 lifetimes to realize it all. It would be such a good idea if you could understand the laws of the universe and understand the progress that you've already made and understand the 1, 2, 3 step process of creation. Step 1 is contrast causes you to ask, and you've been doing it for a long time and you're still doing it all day every day. Step 2, source receives the requests that you have asked and becomes the vibrational embodiment of them, and never ceases offering a signal about all of that, which equals your path of least resistance, which is step 3. Are you allowing yourself to go, or are you arguing for your limitations? Are you allowing yourself to go, or are you explaining what is instead? Are you allowing yourself to go, or are you defending why you haven't been going, or explaining how many other people are standing in the same spot with you and they're not able to go either? So as we're moving forward today, it's our desire to help you to sort of loosen up and let go of those patterns of thought. We would never ask you to stop thinking the thoughts you're thinking. It's not even vibrationally possible, because law of attraction is bringing to you plenty of evidence and support for the beliefs you hold. That's why you keep believing them. You believe it, and so law of attraction gives you more of it, because law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. Esther would say to us, especially in the beginning, but Abraham, it's true. And we said, what's that got to do with anything? There are a lot of things that you don't want that are true. Don't focus upon them. This is an inclusion-based universe. When you look at wanted and say yes to it, you include it. When you look at unwanted and shout no at it, you include it. You can't turn it off with no. You can only turn it off by saying yes to something else. You can only turn off what you don't want by giving your attention to what you do want, you see. So we know it takes some adjustment. It takes some reorientation. It takes some caring about how you feel. It takes some understanding about the laws of the universe. It takes, in many cases, some faith, some willingness to believe something that you can't actually prove to yourself this red hot minute, except that law of attraction will give you evidence all day, every day. Focus on something and watch it show up over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And stop giving your attention to something and watch it fade from your experience altogether. It's just this powerful understanding about law of attraction. We're eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. There is nothing off limits here. You will notice a perfect unfolding as together we will accomplish a complete satisfaction of everything that's on your mind, because you've already put it into the vortex, and we're already standing over here with it, and we know exactly where you are in relationship to what you want. And so let's have some fun. What do you want to talk about? You are way too much trouble. We're gonna have a wonderful time. Take it easy. If we don't call on you right away or ever, don't worry about it.